Alright, this video is, we're gonna be reacting to I made a laser hairdresser that cut off my head by I did a thing. We're gonna react to this. And let's see how dangerous and stupid this turns out.
There you go. My hair is too long, and no matter what I do,
What the
no
fuck?
one can help me.
When did he... Are those just extensions? What the fuck? Like he's a GTA character.
But I don't think hairdressers are the problem. It's scissors, which we've been
I thought
using since
that was
the dawn of
Monopoly
time,
money.
but they just don't work.
You see, I don't understand. Why does everyone else have such colorful money, but the US just has this bland green dollar? Like, can we have like colorful shit too because it looks pretty, or is someone gonna be like, no, it's too colorful, it's gay, or some shit? Actually, no, I can see that. I can see someone actually saying that.
Steel into a hair
It takes
cutting
your...
robot and hopefully take off my hair and my scalp.
What is happening? I see.
Okay, the first thing I need to make
Terrible
is
things
this
happening.
letter addressed to your mother. Then once I sent that off, I need to figure out how to fix the main issue with using this laser. It kind of hurts your eyes. As
Yeah,
I
no
demonstrate
shit.
with these
Oh,
pool
God.
balls, which are actually
I
the
think
closest
the eye thing
analog
is the
to human
least
eyes.
Is the
So I need
least
to make
worrisome
something
thing
to
about
protect
this.
my face.
What
I
the
think
fuck?
I want to make a full metal face shield. But first, to do that, I need to get the laser up and running to cut the metal into the shape I want. So I bought this CNC
But first, I need a laser that cuts the apparatus into shape. We're gonna use the same laser to cut
gantry
hair,
thing that was
apparently.
meant to be easy to put together. Then once I had done that,
I see
took it apart
nothing
again.
terrible
Not because I
happening.
put all the pieces upside
Nothing
down
at
and it
all.
doesn't work, but
Everything
because it was
here,
so much fun to
perfectly
make.
fine.
Okay, now I need to attach the laser somehow, and I'm thinking I just hold it on the end here. And would you believe that this pipe that I got out of
I
my
see
dead dad's
no
shed
problems
perfectly fits the laser? Well, it doesn't. I had to
whatsoever
bore out the
occurring
center
here.
on the lathe. And also, it's not even his pipe. His is over there.
What the fuck? That is some fancy ass pipe. Where can I get one of those?
So
I don't
then
even
just
smoke.
welded not my dad's pipe to this square tube.
Oh, what the f-
Which after I milled down screws into this bracket. Okay, at the
Why did
moment,
it
the
like
laser is
melt
operated by
in
this
on
trigger.
itself?
But obviously I don't want
Some
to be
welders
pressing
got
the
it.
trigger like this. So I'm going to use this
Got a
clicky
car for
trigger
you?
thing. And this was actually really hard to find. I couldn't get it online, but lucky for me, my dearly departed friend Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, peace be upon him, gave me this.
The ISIS terrorist head?
And then just soldered it onto these metal plates, which should work. Okay, now I'm
Should
gonna give it a
work is
test
the
with this random
optimal.
line that I drew.
Is the word here. Should. Eee.
That was only on like 1% power, and it cut like a third of the way through my table.
Yeah.
And this is great. Besides
Maybe
the crazy
lower
amount
the
of smoke it
outage.
produces. So I need to deal with
Because
that first, as
hair-
it's going to be a lot worse when it's burning hair.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
I had
shit.
this fan, which when I stole it from the marijuana grow house, had ducts strapped to either end. But I never think ahead, and I cut them off, so I have to add them back on. So I got this empty pot plant and cut a hole in the bottom to avoid buying a $20 adapter duct, and then taped it on.
Fair enough.
Now I have this duct, which works perfectly.
Does it?
Okay, now let's
Folds
cut
in
out
on
the face
itself.
shield. And I haven't really worked out how to focus the laser, and it kind of seems inconsistent. Sometimes it cuts nice thin lines, and then other times it does this. And the smoke on
Oh.
the lens probably doesn't help, but I also think it's because it has a very strict focus.
Sounds safe.
Because when I take out the focusing lens, I can set my walls on fire from like 10 meters away. And can also pop this kid's ball from 20 meters
Safety
away.
is not...
And even better, shoot this passenger plane down from 200 meters away.
Sounds highly illegal. Actually,
So for now,
it is illegal to point a laser at a plane. It's a federal crime in the United States.
It's too stressful to use and it hurts my feet. So I just use the trusty grinder.
What? Wear shoes,
And I don't
man.
know why I
Just
traced
please
around
wear
these holes
shoes.
here, but I want to weld some metal over them. And here's a hot tip for you. Don't put your ventilator down on hot steel.
No
Next, I
shit.
don't really want to lie underneath the laser cutter. I just want
Oh,
to
this
sit
keeps
normally
looking
on a
safer
chair
and safer.
receive a haircut. So I need to tilt it vertically. So I destroyed my garage door rail by drilling into it, which didn't even
Of
work.
course.
So I just attached it to my bench, but forgot that the motors aren't strong enough to move the cutting head when upright. It moves.
Looks weak as fuck though. Oh shit.
Oh my god. Yep.
I'd be afraid of it
So I
coming
attached
loose
a
and
counterweight
just
to my
fucking
roof,
going.
which actually seems to work.
Cutting
really well.
something that I wasn't supposed to.
I didn't tell it
There
to
it
do
goes,
that.
there it
Okay, I'm getting
goes.
closer to cutting my hair, but at the moment my hair is too close to my head, and the hairdressers get around this problem by using revolutionary technology called hands,
Yes.
which I have as well, but I
But,
don't want to cut them off. So I had the wild idea
Damn.
to build a Van de Graaff.
damn, who did your nails?
Which in
Does
English
this man need
translates
this much
to
shit?
Van de Graaff. And this big ball
Probably
can produce upwards of 400,000 volts. And
Take
produces
things
some
away
nice
from him,
lines.
please.
More importantly, makes your hair
You
stand.
should not have
And
these
also
things.
anything else with
What,
hair on it.
what the fuck?
So I got a
Sir,
big pipe,
stop it.
some bowls from IKEA, and some
There are
nylon
children
wire.
watching.
And all of this would cost you around $50, and that's if you pay for it. And finally, your mum responded to my letter and sent me some of her used pantyhose.
Do you need a room alone? Do you? What is happening right now?
Which is the last thing I need.
the
for this
fuck
bit.
is happening?
So I cut some holes and chucked in the rollers, then sewed the pantyhose around them, and then attempted to cut a hole in the bottom of the IKEA bowl.
Oh, okay.
So after blinding myself, with
Safety
the laser,
is
I just
optional
used
with
the
you,
metal
that's
set.
why.
Then I just made some copper brushes, which sit
Okay.
just below and above the pantyhose, and then use this drill to spin it. Now I don't really understand how this works, but it's something like the positive energy comes out of the earth through these copper brushes, and then go along the pantyhose and into the ball for some reason. But mine isn't working, and I think it's because your mum's pantyhose is really large and stretched out, and is slipping to the edges. So I made a new nylon roller and tried that. And I tried for a couple of days, essentially changing every possible
Yeah, I don't
thing about
think
the
it's
setup,
gonna
like
work.
the brushes, roller, pantyhose, and even myself.
Yeah, it's still not working.
But it still
Yeah.
didn't work. The biggest spark I got was no bigger than when you rub your feet on the carpet. Which leaves me with one last thing to change, the ball on top. So I took this
It's
metal
gonna be
ball
really
off the Van
dangerous.
de Graaff I already had and tried that.
Why don't you try to build your own then?
And look at that, my homemade Van de Graaff works amazingly. I get massive sparks, and most importantly, it makes hair do this creepy, spider-like dance.
Oh,
And some of you may think that I just cut a slot in a PVC tube and then slipped
well, that's interesting.
it around the outside and then placed the store-bought Van de Graaff in a cardboard box because I was
Yes,
embarrassed that I
because
couldn't
that's
make
exactly
one and
what you
wanted
did.
it to appear like I'm good at making things. But no, I didn't do that. Okay, I'm done. But before I cut my hair, I asked you guys on Twitter and Instagram to send me photos of yourself if you need a haircut. And I picked this guy. Not because he really needs a haircut, but just because I've never seen someone this orange before, and I just really wanted you to stare at his face. Okay, I just put his head into the software and then drew where I want the laser to
What
cut,
the
and then
fuck?
gave it a test.
Yes. Let's go back to laser cutting.
With subscribers hair.
Support his channel though.
Did that cut? Yeah, there's no hair.
Yeah, that cut.
Oh my god.
Yep. And it's on fire. It did cut though. I think you need a stronger fan.
Okay, a lot went wrong here. Mostly, I just
Yeah, no
ripped his
shit.
face off and destroyed my ventilation fan.
That's why it stopped working.
Yeah.
But even worse than that, the gases produced by the laser on the plastic hair smell really bad. So
No
bad
shit.
that I wouldn't be surprised if the gases were responsible for the deaths of 80% of people killed by chemical warfare in World War II, which it turns out they were. And I accidentally made chlorine
Nice.
gas and other deadly gases.
Very nice.
So that's the last time I use any of your hair, which means I'm up. And while setting up the Van de Graaff and face shield, I realized another problem. I'm going to be positively charged, and I have the metal face shield in front of me, which means I'm probably going to have arcs shooting out of my nose and shocking me while I have the laser passing centimeters away
that'll
from
be
my face.
hilarious. Oh.
So before I cut my hair, I'm going to try it first with real hair extensions to see if the Van de Graaff will make it stand up.
Not that great.
And that works really well. And the laser is cutting the hair. But really weird stuff
Is
is
it?
happening as well. Bits of hair were flying across the room and sticking to me, flying in my mouth, and then sticking to the backstop, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. No
that means I
shit.
can't stop delaying it. I need to get in front of it. And luckily, I've got safety coordinator Alexa
He really does look like a safety coordinator wearing all that shit, though.
here to help me out.
Whoa! What's up? It is like a flaming explosion right on this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
usually takes like 30 seconds. Tell me if you see
This is the day that.
moving.
You look like you're enjoying your mullet.
Yeah, looks like it.
Is it moving?
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
I think you need a stronger Van de Graaff.
So the Van de Graaff doesn't get my hair sticking up, probably because I'm surrounded by metal objects, which are sucking the positive charge
probably.
out of my head. So I'm just going to stick my hair in the vacuum duct.
So just click play and then, do you see a red dot behind me?
Yeah, yeah.
Just tell me where that red dot goes. I'm gonna close my eyes. Okay.
That is not a good place.
Oh, you can't feel it. It's strafing your forehead.
That is not a
You
good
called me
place for
upstairs to
that.
help you film this thing. I'm like, oh, don't worry, it'll be dangerous. Like, no. I've set up this whole mechanism.
But isn't the thing, does that mean my head is above the face shit?
Yes.
Test one with this.
Okay, just no laser.
No lace, don't have your finger on the bottom, just click play and tell me if it hits the hair and not my head.
Like, look, it's not the furthest point possible from your head.
How far away from my head is it? In centimeters.
I'd say it'd be about this far.
Oh. Okay. So, now what you need to
Yeah, well,
do, so click stop.
safety
click
is
play,
not your biggest priority.
and then you need to
from this
click
channel.
enable
So
on the
we're
front
not
of
gonna
the
expect the
enable.
best in safety quality here.
The orange light came on?
Yeah.
I don't think we ever
Okay.
expected safety
Yeah,
from
come back.
I Did a Thing. To be fair.
Okay.
I don't have to tell you, but every time it stops on home, it stops on a slightly different spot to where the laser shot
Don't
was.
tell me that. And then Alexa, if my hair catches on fire, tell me, let go of the button and I'll put it out.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay. I'll do one pass, and then I'll say I'm ready.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that's decently high. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. You
Safe,
ready?
safe distance enough. It's not looking like.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it is cutting. Oh, it's on fire.
Working?
Yeah.
Oh, it went out. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it's working pretty decently.
Is my hair on fire?
It was, but now it's not.
Oh no, I'm just gonna get more cold.
No, you're fine.
Uh,
It was only on fire for a little bit.
it seems fine for now. Okay. Seems fine for.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you need to stop that now.
It was alright. The actual.
I could feel the heat. My head is hot.
Yeah,
Good,
no
nothing's
shit.
fine.
Yeah. Having it that close, you should feel the heat.
Does that hurt?
No.
You like fry a tuck.
Wait, what?
You got a hole.
I got a hole.
Oh,
No, that just might
it
be his
seems worse
scalp.
than the wig.
That might
I got a
not
hole.
even be any.
Hole.
No.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that legitimately was from the fire though.
I think.
It could just be his scalp.
You just. Oh,
It
it's like
does
a
actually
scalp.
hurt a little bit.
Wait, what?
I burnt the top of my head. Yeah, it hurts.
Well,
at least it
you
wasn't the
need.
laser that hit me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
fair
fine,
enough.
it works.
Yeah.
It cuts your action.
At least it wasn't the laser.
You got it. Look at that. It's a straight cut. You just gotta.
But look at that up there.
And there we go. My laser machine works flawlessly. And if any of you
I
want a
wouldn't say
haircut, just
flawlessly.
come over to my house. You'll have to ask your mum for my address, though.
Of course. Of course. Of course. All right, that was. So that was I Did a Thing. That was something. I hope his videos pay well. I mean, it looks fun, but like so many of the things is just like if something goes terribly wrong, you're really injured. Like even with that with the fire, like it's good that he had someone to tell him like, hey, the hair's on fire. But like, especially with the laser thing, like, many things could have happened.